It's 12:30 on Sunday night, and you're watching episode 38 of Weird Mind Newsroom. Now, we have quite a bit to talk about this week, from all the new releases, all the trailers, well, pre-show Super Bowl trailers, and some of the news of this week. So, let's get into the world of media then, and talk about from this week, shall we? So starting this week with the big film release of the week, and this is the new biographical film with a bit of a dark and sad tale, courtesy of A24. This is coming to us in the form of The Iron Claw. This will tell the story of the Von Erich family, as we see their lives and tragedy unfold from their family dynamic as one of the best, biggest and famous families in professional wrestling, and told from the perspective of the remaining family member of the Von Erichs. Now, the film has garnered some very strong reception, with praise for its performances, in particular with great focus to the leading man of Zac Efron, and the emotional weight told from the story, which some feeling is a little all over the place from what I've seen from some critics. But if you want to check it out for yourself, the film is now able to watch in cinemas now. And now the return of everyone's favorite Space Marine Spartan, as we have gotten the beginning of the second season to the divisive adaptation of the Halo series. Now, this season we'll see Master Chief continue to fight against the Covenant and protect the homeworld, the Halo rings, from falling apart and saving all of humanity from total annihilation. Now, as this season, for the moment, with its first two episodes, has gotten a much better reception than the first season, with more faithfulness and better action, some concerns still centered on the change of the canon, with Chief keep removing his helmet and everything like that kind of stuff. But if you wanted to continue the fight or join and defend humanity, then you can check out the first two episodes now, with a new episode releasing every Thursday on Paramount Plus. And the final release of this week is, you may remember around a decade ago, Family Guy and Orville creator Seth MacFarlane created a duology of films based on the teddy bear that came to life on a wish and a star. As he got older, became a foul-mouthed, drunk, drug-taking bear with his best friend Johnny. But now we are returning to that world and seeing where it all went wrong, with the new series based on Ted. Now, this series is set in the mid-90s, and we see Ted and Johnny growing up and learning so much from doing drugs, pranks, school, sex, relationships, and all many more ways of wacky hijinks with Johnny's family. Now, the reception of this series has been very well praised for its humor and tone, but for also having a bit of heart in the right moments. Now, I have watched the full season there. I finished the last one there a couple hours ago, and I have to say, I have to admit, I was skeptical at first, but then I heard good things about it, and I will say it is very good. And some jokes that, could have been completely stupid actually did make me laugh quite unexpectedly. Now, the series has been out for a month and stay on Peacock, but you can catch the full 8 episodes now on Now TV with Sky Max. With that, that's all the new releases that we have for this week. So starting the trailers this week was just when I thought it was safe to return to the woods. One of the stars of my Horror Most Bored video makes an appearance to show us more gruesomer face, as we receive the first trailer for the upcoming sequel of Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey. Now, the film seems to follow on from the first movie, where Pooh and his friends of Piglet, Owl, and the new introduction of Tigger are out for revenge on a rampage through the town of Ashtown to find Chris Robin, for basically revealing them to the world. Now, if you read my Horror Most Bored blog or watched the video, you know that this film is a hot mess. The first movie, where we didn't get much development on the characters to really care for their deaths or pain, so hopefully we'll see a bit more character development, even though I did like the designs of the characters and wasn't too long a movie. I think this one's like 20 minutes longer, I have no idea. But if this turns into a complete shit show again, this most likely gonna see a part 2 of my Horror Most Bored series, and see this coming out later this year, because there's apparently a lot of these movies coming out of Disney characters getting fucking dark. But besides that, there's apparently 2 different projected release dates. One is next week on the 14th of February, and the other one is the 26th of March as the latest, but I have no idea. That's probably the US release, but once I hear anything, I'll update in a later video. We have a trailer for the new film where silence is key, as we've received the first trailer for A Quiet Place Day 1. Now, this is a prequel, but also a spin-off of the 2 films establishing the franchise, and will follow 2 new characters played by Lupita Nyong'o and Joseph Quinn, as we experience their first-hand deal of surviving against this invasion of creatures with enhanced hearing in the massive city of New York, where in the wilderness you may deal with 1 or 2 at once, but we have an armada to deal with for this one. Now, I really did like the first 2 movies, and this one so far from the footage looks absolutely amazing and really intense. I'm so hyped for it as well, and we have to find out all the buzz when the new releases on June 28th. But for now, and to wrap up on the trailers for this week, until we could talk on Super Bowl trailers for next week, received the first look at an all-new trailer for the spin-off to the Sonic movies with Knuckles. Now this series will see the Echidna warrior feeling a bit lost in his new world of Earth after making a promise with Sonic and Tails to protect the land and the Emerald, and will soon go off on a quest with Officer Wade to find bad guys and stop all at cost and become heroes. Now I was wondering if we were going to hear anything about this series, and from this trailer it looks just as great and entertaining as the films, and hopefully this will be a ton of fun, as the full series will be dropping on Paramount Plus on April 26th or 27th. And with that, that's all the new trailers that we have for this week.
What can I say except
Delete this.
So we start the news for the week with a brief bit of some casting news, and this is with the all-new addition to a series that was well received from last year and heading for a second season release in 2025. And this is of course the adaptation of The Last of Us Season 2, which of course is covered the Part 2 game. Now, we have already seen some of the casting news for the upcoming season, where recently we got Caitlin Dever cast as Abby, Young Mazzino as Jesse, and Isabella Merced as Dina. And we are expecting to see more of the cast of the characters of the sequel, including Abby's dad, Lev and Yara, and most of the members of the Wolves and Sever fights and stuff like that. But we do have one new announcement, a new character in an unknown role, and this character is now going to be played by actress of Catherine O'Hara. Now, you may recognize her performance as Mrs. McAllister for the first two Home Alone movies with Macaulay Culkin. You may know her as Delia Dietz in the Beetlejuice movies, with the first one and the upcoming sequel, and is also now appearing currently right now in cinemas in the new Matthew Bond espionage spy film of Argyle. Now, it's unknown of who she will be playing in the series, but in most cases I feel it may be one of the members of the Wolves of Seraphites, or it could be like the Seraphite Prophet, which was a character mentioned in the game but was never shown. But I'm sure we'll learn more about it as the series enters into production in the next couple of weeks. But I'm sure we'll get any word, I'll update in a later piece. But what are your thoughts on all this casting news, and do you think it's a really good choice on Catherine O'Hara, and who do you think she's playing in particular? Well, let me know what you think down below in the comments. On to the second of the stories for this week is covering the topic of video games, and on the likes of different companies eyeing for the full gaming dominance. Now, have you known for the longest time that there's always a rivalry currently in the modern day and age between three groups of PlayStation, Xbox, and PC? Nintendo used to be a competitor with Sega, but they're still on a league of their own anyway. They usually are big successful anyway as it is. And it's always the case when it comes to exclusivity and innovation is the game. It's always the case about the debate of, oh, this option is better, or that console has no games, or ours is the superior race. But you get off this, and one of the biggest debates comes down to the exclusive games that each system would have. Now, Xbox and PC are collectively mixed together, as the point they have to connect with Game Pass, and they would usually share their games anyway, whereas the likes, they'd be more open to sharing, whereas Sony is more unlikely to share, and then the PlayStation fanboys get really pissy when their exclusives releases on PC or another console, when sharing is more of a positive thing. And it seems to be the case that Xbox may be taking it on, if going by some of the recent rumors. Now, according to these rumors, it seems to be the case that they will be seeing some of the biggest new releases on the Xbox possibly being shared across other consoles, in particular with PlayStation. But the two biggest ones that have been discussed mainly in these rumors is Bethesda's recent release of Starfield, their newest IP in space, as well as Machine Games' upcoming new adventure game of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. Now, many pundits are all saying that this could be a sign of the console being dead and PlayStation is a superior console, but I would have to disagree. As well as a more popular console for sure, the Xbox is still going strong with great new releases, an innovative and useful subscription service. The consoles are pretty good. You have selling the Xbox fridge and this Xbox Series S toaster. This is a real thing, and I'm pretty sure there's some great games for the studio as well as they own, and from some other big studios. Like last year, and like some other studios, like last year's Game of the Year studio of Larian Games for Baldur's Gate 3, have said this is actually a good thing and not a terrible thing at all. And it's not a thing of the Xbox dying out from this. And besides, PlayStation have issues of their own, because the consoles apparently still overheat from certain ways you place it, as well as the case where the console is actually slightly less powerful than the Xbox, but that's kind of thing, and everyone keeps making the mention that PlayStation 5 has no games. And I think the exclusive sharing will probably be a good thing, and honestly, seeing a great opportunity to actually play some games that may be exclusive to console people can't afford, but when you have one console, getting to play them on that would be a good thing. And, it's more point of view in the case that it's a great opportunity for gamers to come together for one thing, which is not to fight over hardware hardware because they all sound the same, but in reality they come together and enjoy new games as they release on everything. But what are your thoughts on this rumor getting talked about, and can you see Xbox exclusives in the likes of PlayStation and Nintendo and sort of vice versa? Well, let me know what you think down below and let's discuss it there. And the next story I will delve into at the moment is coming to us with a news courtesy of Disney. Now, we know at least every year there would be something from the studios, from the live action remakes, animated films from the Disney category, and from the film or two from the likes of Fox, Pixar, Marvel, and Lucasfilm. Now we've got a bit of some announcements that come from this week's quarterly report that started with a small teaser announcement that came out of nowhere. Yes, it was announced that we are getting a sequel to the 2016 animated movie of Moana as this year's animated film from Disney coming out in November. Now, this was actually what was initially a planned TV series for Disney Plus, but was morphed into a full-length film that is now planned for this year. Now, this will join the likes of the other releases from the studios this year, including Planet of the Apes from Fox, Pixar's Inside Out 2, Marvel's Deadpool 3, and their two shows of Echo and probably Agatha, and the live-action prequel sequel to The Lion King. But it wasn't the only confirmed announcement, as this week we saw the news of the investor call with the planned big releases of the next 2 years afterwards, with some of the projects that surprised than you expect. So as we know with 2025, the 2 films we already know confirmed, the 2 or 3 films we know confirmed for 2025 include Pixar's Elio, a new original film, the third movie in the Avatar franchise, the sequel, the new Star Wars movie focused on Rey, and that also now a case we got confirmation at least 2 Marvel films are confirmed for next year, which include Captain America Brave New World and Fantastic Four. And on the Disney side, besides the release of the Snow White live action remake, we're also in confirmation the planned animated Disney film for the winter of next year is the sequel to Zootopia. Now, 2 films that have disappeared or were not mentioned, of course, was Marvel's side, which was, of course, Thunderbolts and Blade. So it's unclear whether they're moved into the next year or still coming out next year. It's unclear right now, but I'm sure we'll get some more words soon. And as for the following year, we have confirmation on the sides of Pixar. We're getting the 5th entry in the Toy Story franchise coming that year. And Disney, we're getting their 3rd movie in the Frozen series for late November. And then as for the likes of Star Wars, we are actually getting the Mandalorian movie in 2026, which we're going to see Mando and Grogu hit the big screen. So most likely we're going to see the 4th season sometime the next year or 2026. We don't know yet. It could be just a movie. Now, it's unclear what else will be announced for release from any of the studio sectors, but we will probably get delayed into the following year, but I'm sure we'll hear anything else from studio or studios. I will let you know in a future video. But what do you think of this news, and is there any of these films that you are looking forward to the most out of all of them announced, or what else are you hoping to get announced from the studios? Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Now, I'm making this story quick as this has caused some annoyance for me once again, but we are finishing up this week with a quick update to a story that was only announced yesterday as of recording this. Now, I talked about back in November that a film known as Coyote vs. Acme was being shelved after being fully complete and had been praised by those who had seen early screenings of it, and even some people in the industry have said it's one of the best movies they've made. And basically it was reason it was a canned tax write-off because it's similar to the likes of Batgirl and Scoob. They basically use them as a tax write-off, as well as the likes of a lot of animated choices on their streamers, because that's the reason why Velma was the most popular streaming animated series, because there was nothing fucking on the streamer. Now, this caused backlash from many pundits and even a planned investigation from the Texas lawmaker and the FTC that it got the plan of being shopped around to a few places for possible release on their streaming service, or even a possible theatrical release as Paramount has offered. Well, we got an update. And it seems that Warner is unhappy about the amounts being offered, as they are looking for a price more than $75 million, even though the film cost $70 million to make. When the likes of Amazon and Netflix had offered around $30 to $50 million, which was around the same amount you were looking for in a tax write-off plus extra, and may shelve and delete this film now in the outcome. Now, I find it so screwy that they will do this to a film once again, as all they care about seems to be is money, and they do not care about creativity, which in the case will irk me the wrong way, and it's a case that most people will move away from your studio if you're going to keep doing this. Now, hopefully this film still has a chance to get a release, or even the likes of, someone does what they did with that SpongeBob movie that was supposed to come out on Netflix that was leaked onto Twitter there like 2 weeks ago, and do the same with Batgirl and Scoob. Just release it on the internet. Just, be a big hero and just release it on the internet for free, and then basically let Warner Bros. Suffer. I'm not suggesting to do it, but most likely that could happen.
But what are your thoughts on this, and do you see this continuing to happen with other movies, and do you feel this film will ever get released? Let me know what you think down below in the comments, but with that is all the news that we have for this week. Now, before I wrap up this week's episode, I decided it's been a while since I've done these, and it's time for a special segment. And in particular, this week, we've got two special announcements to talk about. One that I was involved with, and one that I think we'll delve more into that many could be a part of in the process. So I'll start off the first piece, and this was the base that something that I might have mentioned now and again the last couple of weeks or months or so, was that I was working for the likes of a special program with a place called Learning Waves, where for the duration around 5 months, myself and a group of 12 other fantastic people learned the course of becoming a radio presenter. Through it, we experienced some new skills, learned the programs for audio and radio, and even worked for a few of the radio stations as well for the duration of around 2 weeks to complete the program. It was earlier this week on a very wet and rainy Thursday evening. We got together to graduate from the course and got some very special speakers in to talk about from the industry, and then just presenting our presentations, the event, getting some diplomas, little gifts, and some nice photos of the group that I'll probably show around here, stuff like that kind of thing. Now, even if some of them couldn't make it for completely understandable means and reasons, it was truly a great experience to have spent these last 5 months or so working alongside you for the weekly Zoom classes, to the in-person days at the beginning and the long trip down the country in the radio station in October. It was the absolute chats and chaos of the WhatsApp group. And it's been a treasured experience to share with all of you, and we'll be really strong, connected, great friends for everyone. And just in case, I want to congratulate all those involved, which includes Avine Redmond, Eva Ward, Caleb Scuffs, CJ Wersine, Owen Allen, Jack Rowan McDonald, Judith Mulney, Catherine McKiernan, Neve O'Connor, Richard Guahin, and Tara Carroll. I want to congratulate each and every one of you, and hopefully we'll see us all in the industry working together soon, as well as a case of having a proper catch-up some point soon in the future. Also, it's a definite case I just want to say, if you want to give a look into the course yourself, they run this from the middle of September every year, and the applications would usually open around the beginning of summer or the end of spring. So if you're interested, I would say check it out and actually recommend it to you, because it's actually a well-meaning and recommended experience for you to try out, and you won't be disappointed. And for the other special mention, we have the announcement of a new project that many creatives up and coming could get their work put out there. Now, a friend of mine for college, I believe, my friend Brian, has started a new literary magazine known as Abyss. And this is a magazine for the creatives of Ireland to get their creations across, and I, for one thing, it's actually a really good idea. Many of us get their music, their poems, writings, videos, animations, creations, and all other sorts of things seen by hundreds or thousands of people and get their work spread across the lands. And I'm for certain that I will be finding the best piece of content to share, as well as share this piece to them and shadow them slow but growing audience, but grow over time. And if you want something you want to submit, then you can do so by going to the social links that I'll have down link in the descriptions on Instagram or even on Facebook, and if you could be a helpful success to your career, you may find some good success out of it. Yes, that's my special segment for this week. And if you want me to share something that you've a career achievement or some big success or a good luck with something, or just big shout out to someone like that, I don't mind doing birthdays, anything like that. Let me know down below in the comments, or even just message me on socials. I'm on Discord, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, all that sort of shit. Just spam me, but be respectful, of course. Don't be anything rude, offensive, or anything like that, because if I see that. No, yeah, that's all the special segment this week.
Sweet Caroline. Ba, ba, ba.
And now with all of that brings us to the end of episode 38 of Weird Mind Newsroom. And I hope you enjoyed my continuous ramblings. Now, just a quick little flash of some updates. Reviews, I'm going to get to working on some point in the next week or so anyway. 2 new additions to add onto that review list, which is the TED TV series and the recent film of Argyle. I just seen that earlier today. It was very good. I'll give my reviews on that some point soon, as well as a list. I just want to get at least some of the last year's ones. So Barbenheimer's definitely on top priority. Marvel's, other Marvel stuff, superheroes, DC, Godzilla, all these other ones, as well as the 2 shows I was planning to do anyway. They're all coming. Rewatch-a-thon. I keep fucking leaving off on this. I need to actually get into that sort of stuff. I'm finding the time for it. I'm just trying to find other bits to do. I'm sorting bits out, organize some planned stuff for special treat days out for some people. I gotta find some work and shit like that. It's just, been busy, and I want to get some other stuff done. I was mentioning gameplays, long form videos, all that sort of stuff. I'm going to get them done, so it's going to take a while. just bear with me. I apologize if it's just been weird mind for the last couple of weeks. I get it. My views are very just showing of this, like it's up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, actually that long form one I was doing about the anticipated movies, I've cut in the first part, which is the film section. I'm considering just doing the 2 parts, do films as one video and then do TV shows and games as another video. Initially, a point I was going to do is a singular one, but it's over an hour long, so I was like, I'm going to cut the 2 parts, make it have 2 releases, so I'll go with that. I might do that online. I'll upload the 2 of them together maybe during the week or something, during the month, the next month or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, that's basically all I have for this week. So if you enjoyed listening to my content and want to see more from me and more frequently, why not like the video and subscribe? Because I'm close to 50 subs, and that will be at least a great achievement or something like that for me. But I appreciate all the support anyway, from views, likes, subscriptions, anything like that. Comment down below on all your thoughts and everything discussed this week. Just new releases, or have you seen any of them? Like, trailers, opinions on them, news, what's your thoughts on them? As well as in case if you have anything you want a special segment shout out, just let me know in the comments. I will gladly do them for you. And yeah, share it around, comment, everything like that, all good stuff, And thank you for, continuing to support me. I know I may be, not the best in creators. I may just be some simple, deranged looking dude that's just, talking about media. Talking all things media, as you've seen by the thumbnails. That's where I'm going to leave the episode for now. So I hope you all enjoyed listening to my ramblings. As always, you all stay being wonderful people, because you all are wonderful people. Have a great day every day, and continue being you, because I have good faith you're all destined for great things, especially some people out there I know truly closely, and happy that hopefully everything goes well for you. But anyways, I'm gonna go to bed. It's now 1 o'clock in the morning, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next videos. Take care, everybody. Good day.